Hey loves, what's up? My name is Ire. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're old to this channel, welcome back. I hope that you are having a great day so far. Anyways, today we are going to be talking about ways to make yourself feel better about this college application experience, because trust me, it was a doozy. It was words that like my positive self in this state right now are not going to say. But you know, me being a Northwestern student, I feel like I can provide you with some information and some knowledge to just make you feel hopefully slightly better about this entire experience. Getting lotion right now. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks. Let's get started. My first and number one advice, the best thing that you can do on these college applications is to actually answer the question. Listen, I understand that some college essays will have questions that are very similar to other college essays, and because there's so much that you're trying to do, you'll basically like copy and paste, maybe change a little bit of things and be like, I'm good. Bestie, listen. If your college essay that you write for a specific college and then you just copy and paste and translate it onto another essay and it doesn't necessarily answer the question, you will not be answered by the school with an acceptance letter. That's just something that I realized during my time, and a few people that I've been able to help out. Make sure that whatever you're tailoring your work toward, whether that's in college applications or job applications, cover letters, resumes, every single thing you do has to answer the questions that they are asking and answer the questions that they are asking of you. Yes. So let's say the college question is, what is a significant moment that happened in your life during COVID that wasn't COVID? Okay, let's say it's something like that. If you're talking about how like life is just like beautiful and how I learned to truly care about myself, but like you're not answering the specifics of how it happened during COVID but isn't COVID, then you're not distinguishing yourself in their minds by not completely answering the question. That's a very vague one, and that's a very difficult one, but if you're able to understand what I'm saying for that, and if you're able to take that knowledge and move it forward, you should be good. The next one is, it's easier to write everything down and then to just edit it all later. If you have been struggling with writing stuff down, you're like, I don't know how to write about myself, which I realize is kind of hard. I'm like, we can spend so much time writing essays about random people and historical stuff and research papers, and then they're like, tell me about yourself, and you're like, who am I? You're like, what? It can be very difficult. That's why I think it's better to just type it all out. Type out, verbally say like what you want to write about yourself, and then just go about it and do it. That is the best way to at least get knowledge down on paper so that you can visually see it, and then you can go back and edit it to make it actually sound decent. Sometimes word vomiting is the best way to at least start, especially if you're super stressed out and you have a lot of applications to fill out. The next one is be authentic. Guys, I understand you're competing against the best people in the country, in the world, especially if you're going to really top schools where like the percentages are like 0% to get in, and you're just like, how much do I have to fib? And like, fibbing is absolutely never the answer, because then you will always feel like, did my actual self deserve to get in? Authenticity is one of the best ways that you can move forward in college applications and through life. Basically, what you want to make sure you do is that the knowledge that you have of yourself, you give it to them so that they know who you are, because you are worthy of getting into whatever school you want to go to. And it's not a matter of like proving it, it's just showing that. It's not like you have to be proving it, like I have to show you that I'm worth it. Be yourself, and if you bring yourself to the table, and if you're not just trying to draw in the things that like they want to see, again, answer the questions, but as long as you're like, these are my core strengths, these are my core values, this is who I am as a person. As long as you're able to reflect that, then they can see visually who you are as a person. Next thing, besties, if you want it, you got it. You want it, you got it. If you want to go to the school, do what you need to do to get into the school. Make sure that you are dedicating enough time to your applications for the schools that are most important to you, so that you're not last minute stressing. Another one of my really big tips is to make sure that you're not turning in your application the day of. This is what I try to do for assignments and everything that like you've been given a longer period of time to work on. Try to always turn it in latest. If it's a big assignment, the day before. And something like this, if you could finish it a week before, maybe try to turn it in a week before, but don't be turning things in January 1st. if you can do it December 31st, December 30th, I'd give yourself that deadline instead. So then push it up again so that you can actually meet that deadline, because it's just so important to make sure that your priorities are your priorities and you're living life understanding that your priorities are those things. So those distractions that you may have, make sure that those distractions are set aside and that each day you're able to work a little bit on your papers, whatever that may be, your applications, anything. Because if you want it, you got it, and you get it because you deserve it. And my final tip for the entire college application process and experience and essay writing is for you to make sure that if your paper is in a room full of papers, I think one of my high school English teachers, and if it wasn't my high school English teacher, it was a friend who's a high school English teacher, gave me this advice. If you have your college papers and someone prints out your papers amongst everyone else's papers and posts them on this really big wall and this really big board, and they have everyone read it, your family and friends should be able to pick out which paper is yours, because you are including specific things in your paper that are true to you and maybe true to you alone. Maybe the combinations of things are true to you alone, so that family and friends, the people who know you best, are able to pick out your essay. If your family and friends cannot determine which essay is yours, then that essay is not fully representative of who you are reflected as, okay? So make sure that when you're writing your essay, it's like, how am I me? If you're a person who is a tennis star and you're also have a 4.0 GPA and like you're living your best life with charity, where are the specifics in that your family and friends could determine you amongst all the other track stars or tennis stars or besties who are getting like 5s and 6s on AP tests, you know? So you want to make sure that your distinguishing characteristics are reflected in every single thing that you do. Whether it's like a short essay for like Columbia and it's like, what book have you read? Let them know that it's you. For me, it would be like Percy Jackson. I'd be like, I read Percy Jackson because I read it as a child, and why did I read Percy Jackson again? Because I was desperate to feel what it felt like when I was a 10-year-old who really, really enjoyed reading, because I haven't read in a long time. It grabs people's attention to be like, why was she desperate to read, you know? But yeah, so that's basically it. And if we're going to cover over all the steps again, 1, make sure you answer the questions on each thing and answer them to the fullest of your ability. 2, it's easier to edit than write. If you just have to word vomit it out, get everything out on paper so that at least you can just change it, and it's so much easier to edit It's so much easier to edit than to write, I promise. 3, be authentic. Guys, your true self should be reflected on everything that you do, because that's the best way and the best chance that you have to actually get into these schools. And then it's also the best way to not have any imposter syndrome. 4, if you want it, you got it. If you want this badly enough, you are fully capable of doing everything it takes to do it. Bestie, you've got this. You've got this. I believe in you. Let's throw a little dance. Take my hand. Take my hand. You've got this. Okay. You've got this. And last but not least, guys, if your papers were thousands of papers on a wall and you forced all of your friends and family to read it, would they be able to know which one is yours? If so, then you have a great paper, or at least you have the great foundations of the paper. So that's all for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that the tips that I provided were helpful. I have so much knowledge, again, being a student in college who had to go through this entire application process. I know it is stressful, but guys, believe in yourself. You're fully capable of doing it. Let's all take a really big breath in, because this was a lot. Hey. If you want it, again, you got it. I believe in you. If you want to put in the comments any questions or concerns you have, or any more advice that you would like, I would love to answer them. So just let me know. And again, I hope you have a great rest of your day, because you're a great person. Bye.